All right, Crumpets content here, y'all. Crumpets content here, y'all. AKA Jimmy J, AKA J Legend, AKA the best in the business. Today I'm here talking about the Eagles OTAs and Nakobe Dean update. Well, the OTAs they just started this week. Eagles back in the pads, doing some light drills. You got AJ and all, Jalen Hurts, AJ, and all the rest of the guys. They back in camp, and then back in camp for a week, and then they gonna break and go to training camp in July. But yeah, it's they are already starting to gear up for the regular season, almost gear up for the preseason. Before you know it, fall gonna be here, and we're gonna be back in the Eagle season. But everybody's been talking junk about the Eagles this off season. Now we defend the champs. We the hunted. We the hunted. We got the Cowboys talking junk, and they haven't won nothing in 30 years. We got the Redskins, the Commanders. Used to call them the Redskins, but they the Washington Commanders now. You know that's offensive to Native Americans to call them Redskins. But we gonna roll with it. Yeah, Eagles gearing up. They got all they I think they finally signed all their draft picks. They should sign all their draft picks by now. The last time I checked, they had like 3 guys left that didn't sign yet. But we gonna see who they pick up in free agency late in camp. We're probably gonna be like an undrafted guy or a free agent, a late acquisition. Last year with like Zach Bone and they're working out for us. Yeah, we got a stacked roster. We strong at linebacker. And that was the emphasis to be strong at linebacker because the year before we weak at linebacker. We had trash cans linebacker. Now we got all pro and a lot of ascending linebackers and in the strong secondary. If you got a strong secondary, you just need a decent pass rush. And our pass rush in the Super Bowl, we was lighting them up. We covered a long time. And that's what it seemed like our secondary gave our pass rush a time to rush the pass because he had nowhere to throw it because everybody was covered when it came to Patrick Mahomes. Everybody was covered. But I think we're gonna be back in the Super Bowl because who's better than us in the conference? Nobody. I don't see Detroit stopping us. Rams, they can't beat us. They was the closest to beating us, and even though that game's a lot closer than it should have been, that game we should have been up 2 or 3 scores on them. At least two scores on them. Yeah, we should have been two scores on them. But it's it's a lot of stuff that happened. Now I believe our defense is going to be in the top five again, if not number one. We got a lot of young players, but we kept most of our core players. So even though we got a young core, but them guys know what he's doing. Reed Blankenship know what he's doing. But it's a lot of things that happen. They get where we was at last year in the Super Bowl. We started off first 4 weeks started off a little shaky. We pulled it together. We tightened up. We started running that ball, playing tight defense. We tightened up everything, and then when we got to the playoffs, we kind of let it loose. We played physical on both sides of the ball, and we basically ran our way to the Super Bowl, where we was able to throw ourselves into a win. We threw the ball into a win. We still with balance. We had 25 pass attempts versus 25 rushes or rushing attempts. We still ran the ball, still effective enough to they keep them honest. Saquon didn't have a great game. He only had 65 rushing yards during during that game. They pretty much kept him in the contain. He had a few breaking runs where he had like a 10-year run and 15 yards here and there, but that was it. He had no running it from end zone to end zone or running no 7-yard runs like he usually do. But we was able to be balancing up the get some big plays balance where they were containing Saquon, but Jalen Hurts was able to. What kept us really balanced is Jalen Hurts was every time he needed to scramble and get a first down, he got that first down, and it was a lot of back breaking plays, and to the point where the defense backed up off him. He was able to hit them with some bombs, and that broke the game over. Besides the defense playing lights out, but that's how we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, we gonna try to run it back and get back to that. We got some new added players. like Jai Campbell. We got we got Ty Robinson, Magua, and APR. We got all them type of guys going into going into yeah, to OTAs and in another month training camp. So yeah, but the switch gears. You're gonna talk about Nakobe Dean. Then Nakobe Dean. Yeah, Nakobe Dean. They said he was able to play a little basketball, so he might at least be back by at least week 4 or the beginning of the season. Yeah, that's promising. He's walking around. Yeah, he's able to walk around. That's promising. That's real promising. So yeah, that's promising. So yeah, he should be right by the beginning of the season. But we just had to see things go with how things look with him when we get into the training camp. We just had to see, but don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We about to be out. Peace.